Welcome to Patch the Way. We share educational content on health, longevity, and lifestyle to support your wellness journey. This content is for education only and not medical advice. Subscribe and join the Patch the Way family.
Hello, guys. Today we're going to talk about your real age, right? It's your body might not actually be the age that you are. In fact, your biological age could be dramatically different from your chronological age. And we'll talk a little bit about what each of those things mean. But today, modern health technology can measure signals in your body that can help you estimate how fast or how slow you're aging. Things like heart rate variability, sleep recovery, stress levels, and metabolic balances. All of those are signals that can reveal whether your body is trending towards a repair or longevity or accelerating your aging, meaning getting really older. So this training is going to explain what this biometrics mean and how they can connect to the science of aging. Hello, guys. I'm Pastor Ed Milad with Patch the Way, and I am so excited to bring this information to you. This is something that I've been working for a little while now. We have had this technology for quite a little bit, and I'm going to attempt to explain to you in the most basic way. There are going to be some statements and some things, some definitions that might be a little foreign to you, but some of you guys are probably a little bit more learned, and we'll be able to get this, and we'll not go over your head, but hopefully you stick here with me. So what your biometrics reveal about your longevity, meaning how old you are and how old you're going to be, right? Most people in history, I'm going to say this, that they thought about health as being something wrong. But today, we have access of a wearable technology that can continue to monitor your body's internal signaling. And you'll see this through, it's no longer a guesswork, right? You can see your heart rate, you can see your heart rate variability, your sleep cycles, your stress levels. All of these things are what influences is your biological age. And we'll talk a little bit about all these terms so that you can better understand your body. Hopefully, with my hope and my prayer is that you live as long as the good Lord can give you, right? And we're not talking about anti-aging, reverse aging. We're just talking about your regular life and how you can live it in a way that it is going to be something that good for you, for your health, and for your family. So talking about the chronological and biological age, there's also something called metabolic age. And all of it is the chronological age is the age that you cannot escape, right? If you're 50, 60, 70 years old, that's the chronological age that you have been given. It's just a number. It's based on your birthday. You know, there's non-negotiable. And it's the same for everybody. Now, what we're going to talk about, a biological age, is something that can be measured. And you might hear me through this presentation talking about a metabolic age. And that age is a little bit different than biological and chronological. A metabolic age is an age that is compared to other people around your age, right? Around your ethnicity, around even the stature and all that. And we'll concentrate a little bit more about chronological and biological age. So how does the biological age work? It works through cell health, through your heart, your brain, and metabolism. Now, your metabolism, your biological age can be 20, 30 years, 10 years younger than your chronological age. And you may say, how is that measured? It's based on biomarkers. It's based over time. It is influenced by your lifestyle and the way that you can also improve it. So that is what I'm very excited about today. And we're going to talk about recovery, stress, metabolic health, and also your nervous systems. And you may say, man, this is a lot of information, but just trust me, stay with me, because scientists now believe that your body may age in two sudden jumps during your lifestyle, not gradually. And what's fascinating about this, guys, is that your biometrics may already be revealing you which direction your body's going. And that's what we want to look at, right? That's what we want to pay attention to because it's really important which direction you're going. Are you going the right direction? And if not, can you make a U-turn? Can you take measures of your body that you can shift that aging so that you can last and you can last longer and you can last and be well and have a good health and wellness in your life. Now, the speed of biological age is also being, it's a part of it. It's called pace of your age. Okay. Now, your speed is very important because scientists understand that aging is not fixed. And by understanding that aging is not fixed, you can really not just compare your age to other people, but just look at your age of yourself and how it can be monitored, right? So the longer the number suggests the body is currently experiencing lower psychological stress and stronger recovery signals. So all of this that I'm saying is this is not anecdotal anymore. This is something that we can look at yourself and actually put yourself as a test at the test person. And you may say, well, you're not a doctor. Sure, I'm not a doctor, but I'm a nerd. And I love doing things that improve my body. And, most of us, we not most of all of us have been given one body. What you do with that body is a gift that you can give to God, right? What you do with yourself is so important. Now, we can go and talk about all the different things that we could do wrong, but hopefully today we're going to talk about the things that you can do right, right? So the direction of your health, moving and the metabolism momentum is also very important. How can that be measured? By better health and where it's trending to. So you improve your recovery, you have balanced metabolism, you have lower stress load, and better cardiovascular regulation. That is the momentum that your body can grow. And I'm going to show you a little bit later how in this app that I'm using and this technology that we're using, and this might not be foreign to some of you guys because we spoke about it before, but as you can see here, your week trending and you score that this technology gives you is so that it, yes, at times is exciting because you see you're positive, but at times it could be negative. And there's nothing wrong by having a negative metabolic momentum number. It just means that your body's repairing at those times. And it's okay that you allow your body time to repair. My best score was found after taking a good nap in the afternoon. And you may say, well, how does that work? It's because after a stressful day and after a stressful even workout, you can show your body that your body needs rest. And you have to listen as we talked to our personal trainer, Tyler Blankton, who's incredible and helps us to be able to understand our body, is that you have to listen to your body. If your body needs something, the body will tell you, and you just have to follow it. There are times that we might not work out because the body's saying, no, you have to rest. And of course, as a geek, I want to do everything in my power to do that, but I also listen to my body. So that momentum is very important for us to be able to follow. Now, the estimated longevity impact and where life is added to your momentum is projected like this. You'll see that and I have a screenshot of this technology that I'm going to show you here in a couple slides, and you're going to see the projection times that this week has been giving. And you're going to say, how does that work? How is it that your positive days and how you calculating this projection throughout the whole week or longer, right? And it's really, really neat because in reality, what's happened physically in my body and in my organs, they are aging backwards. And you may say, how is that possible? And for a long time, scientists um, are experiencing and really learning about how our body is can age back. And we might think that this is pseudoscience, this is science fiction, this is from like, ooh, Star Trek space, uh, exploration. But it's very doable and it's very easy to see. And through this presentation, you're going to be able to see, and hopefully at the end of it, will allow you guys to ask questions so that we can better understand this whole presentation. So what controls your aging process? This is really important to know because whether you're going in the right or the wrong direction, you can control these things: cellular repair and regeneration, inflammation balances, mitochondria energy production, and also your nervous system's regulation. You can control that, believe it or not. You may say, well, all this is autonomic systems. Yes, they are. But how can you control them is by basically looking at your cells and how your cells repair and how the tissue is renewed. These are all markers that show us how our body is repairing, right? Your body replaces, believe it or not, billions of cells each and every day. That's how our body regenerates itself. That's how we grow. That's how we see a little baby, from 5, 6 weeks to like 5 to 10 years later. That baby is no longer that little baby. It has grown. That is because your cells are regenerating every day. The skin changes, your muscle, your blood vessels, your organs. I believe they change every 7 months, and some organs change differently depending on what they do. But all those changes, all the blood vessels and internal organs changing, is incredible. And it's just like in the last 5 or 6 years, we really have been looking at, personally myself, and how all this works. And I find it totally fascinating. And that's why I'm doing this presentation for you guys so you can understand it. Now, I'm going to take you through something that is so microscopic, it's so tiny, and it's almost seemed like, is this real? And there have been actual photograph of this mitochondria, which is the energy production of your body. This is where everything starts. This is where we have breath and we have meaning, we have knowledge and understanding. And you might say, well, all that is really like far-fetched, but just trust me. I deep knowledge of and understanding, reading books, listening. When people are watching TV or listening to music, I'm basically going bananas and trying to understand this because it's so fascinating. The power cell of your body and of your cells is called the mitochondria. Okay, it generates chemical energy that fuels your cellular activity. And what it does with it, it converts nutrients, sugar, fats into ATP. And what is ATP? That is the energy. ATP you could see is like the battery that runs the breath that you breathe, the movements that your body makes. That is called adenosine triphosphate, which is the power cell functions of your body. Now, later in this video, I'm also going to show you two ages when aging suddenly accelerates according to new research. So stay tuned, and we're going to catch that in a couple slides a little bit later. So stay watching this. Inflammation and aging. Now, you may say inflammation has to do with arthritis, has to do with bone. Yes, it does. But today, I want you to put your thinking caps on because it also has to do with constant stress signals. Now, you may say, well, how can I de-stress? There are so many different things that you can do with some people can meditate, some people pray, some people just listen to different signals of music and frequencies. Those are all relaxation methods to bring that constant stress down. That accelerates the aging process, which is what you don't want, right? And it is also linked to diseases, which we're not going to talk about or name any of them, but just know about it, that all shortens your lifespan. So inflammation is very similar to inflammation, but it also inflammation or inflammaging drives aging, right? It increases your biological age. This is where your organs and everything inside of you is getting old. Imagine looking at somebody that's 110, 115 years old. and you see their skin. And David Schmidt talks about this all the time, how the body on the outside, it's only a representation of what is happening on the inside. The organs, just like because we are so, as we get older, we become chronically dehydrated. And so our skin starts to show. And you may say, well, this is only my skin. My organs don't do that. Yes, they do. The organs are aging at even the same or maybe even faster rate than your skin on the outside does. And that increases your biological age. It also impairs the process of repairing, of your body repairing. Now, what I find fascinating, and that I myself as a jeweler, when I cut myself, it used to take me weeks and maybe months sometimes because I don't just get a little tiny cut. I mean, I go to the bone. Sometimes I drill myself, sometimes I cut with very sharp objects. And it used to take me for a long time to be able to heal. And I have to heal because I have to be able to use my hands. But now, throughout the using of this technology that we're talking about, I'm able to heal within a day or two the most. And that is like rapid. And I'm talking about not just healing that I will have a scar, but healing that it doesn't appear that I even have scars, which is really, really amazing for me. Now, the nervous system also needs to be balanced. And I want us to really understand how we can balance our nervous system, what heart rate variability is, and how the parasympathetic and the sympathetic flight or flight or rest and recovery work. And it's really good to know that. And you see here that is good and sometimes it cannot be good. How is HRV measured? Is measured between your heartbeats. Now you may say, how in the world are you going to measure your the what's happening between your heartbeats? I mean, that's like very, very quick. But you know, with the technology that we have now, we can measure that. And it reflects the balance of your parasympathetic and your sympathetic. Now, you high HRV, which is what you want, is you want to have a rest and recovery. You want to be able to de-stress. And because on it, your body starts to repairing. Now, if our body and most men, I know I'm talking to a lot of you guys, but a lot of you ladies are here too on our call and on the video. You are, most of us are constantly with work, with stress and kids and school and you name it. We're constantly working on a sympathetic um, fight and flight all the time, just very stressed out. And that shows a low HRV. So the higher HRV, it's going to be the better for us. And we'll, you know, you may say, well, how can I be able to manage that? How can I be able to control that? And hopefully I'm going to show you through a couple of slides coming up how we can do that and why it is important to do that. Now, HRV is linked to what? Stronger resilient recovery, better stress management, and improved longevity. So what we need to do here, guys, is we need to be able to get a good night's sleep. And you've heard me before. I'm a workaholic. I love to constantly work and do things. And I will often pray that, Lord, give me 48 hours a week because 24 is not enough. And I used to say too, why do we need sleep? But now that I know what sleep is doing to my body and how it's recovering, I better take care of my sleep. Last night I was telling Sister Vicky that I wanted to really work out, but it was very, very late. I was caught up doing a lot of work. And I said, should I work out? What's more important right now, my workout or my sleep? And I listened to my body and I said, you know, my sleep is better. I can work out tomorrow and continue my regimen as I do. So I prioritize my sleep. We also need to prioritize our nutrition. And by nutrition, I'm not saying go eat a lot. I'm saying have a balanced nutrition. Make sure that you have a balanced hydration. And for whatever you do, continue to drink water, good water, not just tap water, because some people's tap water is really not that good. Also exercise and be able to meditate and bring down some of the stress because the stress gives you a very low HRV. The high HRV with the sleep and nutrition and exercise, you can really get and get your body to a place that you want your heart to be right. And these are all measurable moments that can help your body live longer and stay healthy, and so that you can live a long prosperous life with your family and for your family. So what are the lifestyle factors that influence your aging? Okay, sleep deprivation, chronic stress, poor diet, those lead to lower inflammation and the burns in your body. So we need to get rid of toxins, the lack of exercise. Most people, instead of taking the elevator, go through the stairways. I saw a video earlier today. The Stallones were called up to a late night show, and the girls, of course, and his wife, they take the elevator, and they're waiting for Sylvester Stallone. Where's Stallone? Where's Stallone? Just so happens that he's running and going up through the stairs, right? Just like the exercise guys that he used to be. That is what we need to do. Little things like that can really help your body. And also, walking with Vicky, it's a really good exercise. And the reason why is because she doesn't walk, she practically runs when she's walking. And another person that comes to mind is brother Lorenzo. Going with him in airports that you've never been to, I almost wanted to just hold his hand because he was walking so fast for me. Those are really good. That increases. If you can't exercise, walk fast, do a little bit, stretch, do a little bit each day, and your heart is going to thank you for that. And stop eating all that excess sugar. There was a time where I used to grab spoonfuls of sugar, just like the medicine goes down. I used to do that and never thinking that how bad that really was. Of course, that's when I was young and dumb. Now I'm a little bit learned and a little bit more wise. I stay away from that. I went and we ordered from a fast food place, and that's right. You can order fast food. If you're working and exercise, you can be able to do that now. A good fast food place, not a bad one. I'm not going to name it for obvious reasons, but I got a drink, and it was supposed to be a mango lemonade drink. And I tell you, it was filled with so much sugar that just the one sip that I took, I said, maybe I need to dilute it because I really love mango, right? But no, it wasn't enough. I put it in the refrigerator the next day. I'm like, why am I even babysitting this? This is horrible. This is just pure sugar. And I threw it down the garbage and down the drain. And I was very proud of myself. Those are very little steps. And Vicky will tell you, that I used to drink, sodas like it was nothing. But now we're really careful about that. And because we're careful about it, we're able to see the changes that are happening in our body. Healthier steps, healthier living is getting quality sleep, right? Aim to 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And I know that's a lot, right? And you may say, well, I don't have that time. I have to get up early. I have kids that I have to take care of. And I understand that. But if you prioritize yourself, you prioritize your body so that you can last longer for your family. Follow a nutritious diet, eat anti-inflammatory foods, exercise regular, about 30 days a day for me. That is so easy to do. 30 days, man, it could go very quick. We've spoken for 30, this presentation has gone for 30 minutes already. That's all you need to do daily. That's really not that bad. David always talks about even doing hits. You can exercise for like 10, 20 seconds and be able to get what your body needs. That is incredible. Manage your stress. When stress is going to come, guys. Even the Lord tells us that in this world, you're going to have tribulations. But he said, be of good cheer because he's overcome the world. And because he's overcome it, he's letting us know that you and I can also overcome it by doing what? Practicing relaxation and practice mindfulness. And all of this, you got to limit your toxins, limit the alcohol take, limit your smoking, and limit sugar. And you see those three there, smoking, alcohol. How can sugar be there? Sugar is very addictive. That's why when I'm very careful, even drinking teas, I can't have too much caffeine because my body then craves it. So we have to be careful. And of course, there's studies that shows that drinking caffeine prior workout is really good for your body, but not any other time. So monitor that and watch what you're doing. So I'm almost done. But I'm going to show you here the key takeaways of your longevity and how important it is. Aging is not fixed. understand that. Hear me again, aging is not fixed. Dynamic biological processes can help you to age your body backwards and influence the pace of aging. Now, how do I do that? Now, I'm going to show you in the next couple of slides what is happening with my body and how it's been monitored. So I'm going to show you, not anecdotally, how this can happen to you as well. So understanding your biological age and your metabolic momentum is very important. So what are some of the biometrics that you are tracking right now? Are you tracking HRV? Are you tracking your sleep? Are you tracking your recovery? Because that is all very important. If you're not tracking it, you don't know. It's kind of like hitting a bullseye without having a bullseye in front of you, like trying to get to a place without a destination. And this is why it's important to be able to understand that. And in the comments and in the conversation that we'll have, jot down in the chat, what are you using right now? Because I'm really interested and trust me, I will follow up with you. So what I'm talking about and how we're monitoring is something that we use in our home. It's called a Hume pod, body pod. And we also use the Hume wristband. Okay, those are metrics that we can follow each and every day. And of course, it's recommended that you use your band for at least 6 to 7 days in order for you to start tracking your metrics. Also the scale wants you to balance or weigh yourself at least 4 times a week, not necessarily to see the weight. I don't use it for that. In my mind, I'm thinking I want to be the weight that I was when I was in high school, and I've left that. That's childish thinking, because I want to be healthy. I don't want to just lose weight just to lose weight. I want to be able to feel good and to look good. And most importantly, as Tyler was talking to us this week in our phone call follow up this week, he said it's not just about always looking good and trying to impress others. It's about quality of life. And so my presentation today is to just to share with you is the quality of life that you can have. And it's not something that somebody's going to give you. It's something that you have to take, right? And your biological age can be reversed. The data from the Hume devices, the body pod, as well as the wristband, and also Hens. We talk about Hens lifestyle that creates an elite wellness is hydration, right? You also have exercise, nutrition, and sleep. Those are all pillars that we need to live our lives by, so that not at any one given moment, yet your sleep might not be as good, but you know what, try to balance your other three parts, because those are all factors that help you to get a better lifestyle. Now, here are the scores, and you might look at this and you might say, is this for real? This is my score. Okay, this is not something that I got from the internet. This is the screenshots from my score. Now, health score was saying that it's good at 713, and I believe the best score might be 800 or 1,000. I'm not sure, because this is probably one of my highest scores that I ever gotten. And it was saying the metabolic momentum that I was telling you is around 7. Now, the next day, check this out. I've screenshot myself here, and I looked at that. My metabolic had gone up by 11. Why? Because I had a great exercise and a good night's sleep. The life added this week, look at this. It shows us 4.1 days. Imagine what I'm adding to my life when I'm doing this 10, 15, 20 years. This is going to continue to increase. Just overall lifespan added was 5 days. Now you may say your aging is much lower. Check this out. This is really cool. I'll spend a little time here. You're aging much slower than most people. You're not just staying active, you're doing it. It says you're just the right amount for your body. Your health habits are really working. And the momentum directly impacts the pace of aging. And it tells you to scroll down and you see the pace was at 0.2. Okay. At that moment, what it's talking about is no longer just living my chronological age. I'm actually making a change on my biological and my metabolic age. Okay. And that to me is really important. Now, does it mean that I'm going to live 5 more days. No, because when good Lord calls me home, I'm going home. What it means is that I'm giving my body the best case scenario that my body can have. And I'm not guessing. I'm actually going and I'm doing all this for my body so that it can live the best life now. Not, you know, what I was a teenager that I didn't care for my body, and that when I'm older is now. Get the way that I like to look at this too is we've been given life, right? And the life that we've been given, the past is concrete. We can't change it. The future is unknowable. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. But what you have right now is the present. So what you do with the present right now is the best gift. That's why it's called present, because it's wrapped in a bow, right? So it's necessarily we look at this information and we do something about it. What are we going to do about it? So I'm done. I just want to thank you guys for being on the call and just finding out, all this information that has been given to you for a reason so that we can make better decisions. We can make changes in our body. And most importantly, why we need to do this, not just for ourselves, but for our family and for our loved ones. Those are the key takeaways that I have. And in closing, I'm going to say modern biometrics gives us a powerful window into how the body is functioning, right? They show us that our daily habits can be more exciting and can be realized, right? And they give us an opportunity to better understand our health journey. And that is what I want you to do. And my call to action, guys, is this. If you find this training helpful, please like this video, share this video with other people, subscribe to our channel, and share it with somebody that you care about their health. If you want to learn more, also visit our patchtheway.com website, and here you see all our social medias where you can find us. And in the social medias, we're able to connect with you and we'll be able to help you in any way, shape, or form that you'd like to. So right now, I'm going to close this meeting, but I'm going to ask you guys that are on the call to stay on the call. If you have any questions, we'll be able to help you. And you can see that our patchtheway.com passcode is lowercase letters light. You can also go to our YouTube channel at youtube.com at Patch the Way. So thank you guys. We appreciate you being on the call always, and we thank you for staying with us this whole time. But that we care for you, and because we care for you, we're giving you this information that could go a long way. So God bless you all. Take care, and good night.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Visit patchtheway.com and stay connected.